Hi everybody, Jessie here from jessiebanks.com and welcome back to another video. So for today's video, I'm using one of the new release from February stamps from MFT. Wow, that was awkward. I'm leaving it. Um, it is called Birthday Chicks. I think it's absolutely adorable. My voice is a little funny. It's first thing in the morning. I am going to stamp all of these guys out using Memento Desert Sand ink. I have a faber-castell envelope. That's my phone bill. The bill's not in there. It's just the envelope. I am going to stamp it off once with my envelope like that and then onto the paper, which makes it really, really difficult to see, especially when you speed it up to 4 times the real speed. But I find that way I don't see any of the lines when I'm done, like even in my really light colors or my really light areas. So I like to do it. I know it makes it more difficult for you guys to see, but we'll get through it. Into my dining room light flexion in the stamp positioner there, which is super funny. I'm stamping in the evening, so I'm doing this part at my dining room table, and then I actually colored the rest in the living room because the light was making odd lines in the video. So we're just gonna get all these guys stamped out into a row here, and then we'll pull off all the masks. I didn't need to put quite all the masks on, like the cupcake, and I tried to squeeze this little birdie in and he just didn't work. I even pulled it off and looked at it in like to my face to see if I could get it, and he just didn't work. So he didn't make it into the scene, but that's okay. The rest of them did. So once I get these guys all stamped and the balloons stamped, I'm going to pull all of the masks off, and then we're going to get into the coloring and settle in, because if you saw the time stamp or the time of this video, we're 2 minutes in. That means we got 18 minutes to go, and it's all coloring. So I hope you guys enjoy watching coloring. I have sped this one up a little bit more because it is it's such a long one. It was an hour and 25 minutes of footage roughly, so the stamping was at like 6 times speed and the coloring is at 4. But I color fairly slow, so I'm hoping you guys can see enough of it as we go here to be able to catch on to what I'm doing. I do try to put all of my caps. I'm hoping I got them all in screen through the whole video. I try to put them off to the side there so you guys can see what colors I'm using as I go through, because I know lots of people like that information. So I try to put it there so that I don't have to remember and tell you guys as we go through the whole thing, because that would be a whole lot of like my old videos. And now I'm using BG02. And in a moment I'm going to use BG01. And now I'm using, no, I'm not. I'm still using BG02. But you get the drift. It would be really bad. I don't know. I sound like a talk show host or something. That's so not me. Okay, Jessie, quit with the bad jokes. Here we go. Blending that out with our lightest color. I like to work darkest to lightest on all of my stamped images. The only time I go in and add any sort of additional shading, like a second layer or anything, is if it's not blending well. Most of the time I don't bother. I did a little bit on the corally color on our cupcakes, but other than that, everything got one dark to light coat. I am coloring on Nina Solar White cardstock. I usually use Copic Express It, but like I said in my last Copic video, my previous batch was bad and it's making all my markers sticky and it's just not working at all, and I don't know, because that paper's hecka expensive. Oh, my voice went. Sorry about that. The paper's like super expensive, and especially up here, I think I paid like $100 for a ream, which is 125 sheets. That's almost $1 of paper, and it doesn't work because it makes my markers sticky, and it shouldn't do that because I've been coloring on that paper since I started with my Copics like 6 or 7 years ago. So it's a little bit frustrating. Now, Nina works really good. It takes a little bit more ink. I find that I have to color a little, lay down a little more ink as I'm coloring. Blah. Learn how to speak the English. Lay down a little more ink as I'm coloring to get everything to blend, just because it's a little bit rougher and a little heavier paper, it feels like, but it works fantastic. You can see as I'm going through all of these little guys, I am adding in their eyes with the color that I'm coloring them, and that's just so that I don't lose where they are. I will make them black as soon as I am done coloring all of them. But for now, it's just to mark them in so I don't lose track of where the eyes are on our images here. Now we're going to color this little guy up that's holding the stack of cupcakes. It almost looks like he's running away. He's like, haha, I'm out of here. Oh, so bad. Okay, so I missed Watercolor Wednesday. This week I was on a pity party. No big deal. It lasted like 3 hours. I got over it. It's all good. I will either upload that video in the next day or two here or save it for next Wednesday. I haven't really decided yet. I have some other videos I have to get done and get up for different companies and some stuff I want to do for you guys and all that stuff. So I may just stick it in the bank and we skipped this week and we'll be back next week. No big deal. I promise it's whatever. I'm over it. Anyway. So we're going to make this other guy peach. I only did them one at a time here because I wasn't sure what color I wanted to do them all, if I was going to make like a whole bunch of different colored birds. And I decided not to, simply because I needed a color for the balloons and a color for the icing and a color for the tats and the cupcake wrappers and all of that good stuff. So I figured if we just did these 3 colors on our birds, that gives us lots of options for the rest of everything. And yeah, it worked. I'm happy with the outcome. So that's a bonus. I've been really enjoying coloring lots of different things. I know I've been filming a lot of MFT, and that's simply because I buy a lot of MFT, but I've been doing lots of things coming with different companies and different design teams, and just I'm going to do lots of fun stuff. So yay. I really enjoy this. This is my hobby. I don't do this as my job. Like, I know lots of people seem to think that all I do is sit at home and color, and I'm like, oh really? No, sorry, afraid not. Like, I work 45 hours a week, 45 plus hours a week outside of my house, and it's just me and my son here all the time. So I do everything for him, all of his extracurricular activities, swimming, skating, all that kind of stuff. So we're pretty on the go people, hence why I do voiceovers at the current time is 4:35 a.m. And my voice is all screwed up, probably because it's 4:30 in the morning, but that's all right. Not complaining. Life is great. Getting all these top hats colored in here with our purples. I do just a couple at a time just so that I don't forget one, in all honesty. That's why. It's because I'm always worried that I'm going to leave one out if I try and do everything, which is what usually happens. So we don't do that. Now we're going to work on our balloons here and make them green, because I like the color green, and it worked with the purple and the yellows and everything else being so close to them. I was happy with it. I don't have much for stories to tell you guys. I usually have some silly thing my 8-year-old did, and apparently he's had his crap together this week because he hasn't done anything dumb or ridiculous to tell you guys. No, he's been like cleaning his room and not falling over, so I'm a little worried about him. He's usually not that coordinated. I mean, good for him, don't get me wrong. It's not like he has to do something silly or funny or ridiculous all the time. It's just he usually does something silly or ridiculous all the time. And he hasn't, but that's alright. He's also hanging out with Grandma this week because, well, not his grandma, my grandma, so his great-grandma, which is super awesome that she's still around and he gets to hang out with his 85-year-old great-grandmother while I'm at work. It's winter holidays in Canada, so the kids are off school this week. And they're, well, where I live in Canada anyway. So, he doesn't go to daycare before school. Our school runs a before and after school program, so he doesn't have anywhere to go during the day this week. So he goes into the city and he hangs out with Grandma, and they bake cookie sheets, make bread, and watch curling because the Olympics is on. It's a great time. He thoroughly enjoys it. It's super funny. I asked him yesterday who did the babysitting. He goes, I did the babysitting. I said, how do you figure you did the babysitting? He goes, I don't know, we both had a nap today. I was like, good for you guys, that's awesome. So, I'll take her out for lunch on the weekend to thank her for watching him for me, because she won't take my money, so I can't give her that. So we're going to get these cupcake wrappers colored in, and then our icing. And I really like the way this looks simply with the Copic markers. If you do not want to go into the next step, because I do add a bunch of shading to everything on here. Oh, I'm going to work out this stain so that it's not in the background. It's going to take, I pushed it a couple of times with my colorless blender. I'm not sure if I do it on camera every time or if I do it off camera, but as it dries out, I'll hit it again with my colorless blender just to make sure that that color is pushed through the paper and it's not going to show up on the front as we're going through everything, so I don't end up with that purple in the background at the end. You don't even know it's there on the finished card. You guys will see that at the end, and if you saw it in the thumbnail, you can't tell that there's a purple spot there. So now we're working on our icing here, and I'm starting in with R37. I love this Copic color. I love this Copic combination. Now, the only reason I bought this Copic combination is because the one color was called Coral, and I really like the color Coral, so I bought that series of markers just because of that. I really like them, don't get me wrong. I just think it's funny that I actually bought one because of what the marker itself is called, and I usually don't do that because I usually just go by the numbers, and this, yeah. So I'm going to go in and do this with the R30, and then I find that it bleeds out the rest of the colors so much just because that R30 is so light. So I do go in and add another layer of the R32 and then the R30 again just to bring that depth back in so that it's got that roundness and fullness and it's not all washed out. And then we'll do our little guys off to the side here, just in the same manner, just following the artist drawn lines. I know they're getting especially hard to see in the video, but I can still see them in person, so. And I like to keep those lines super light. I just don't like, I'm picky and I don't like to have a hint of them in my light colors when I'm done. And sometimes you can pick it up depending on how you color, so. The cat's pushing his food dish around. I think he's hungry. He gets fed when Caleb gets up. Caleb feeds him. It's Caleb's job, and he just has to be patient because he's not hard up and without. If you saw my 30-pound cat, he's perfectly fine. Now we're going to do the actual cupcake part here using E59, 57, and 55, and I just blend those out, and ta-da, that's done. It looks really, really good. Like, you could add in the legs and stuff and leave it right here. I can't believe I repeated that. That was weird. Anyway, but I ended up going, oh, we had the flames too. I ended up going in and adding colored pencil to all of this just to give it more of a storybook look instead of just being Copics. I find storybooks have kind of that semi-fuzzy feel, and I can achieve that when I add my markers over top. It also becomes a little more realistic for some reason. I'm not sure why. It might just be because alcohol markers blend so perfectly and so flat. Like, they're so smooth when they blend together. Whereas you can get that texture with colored pencil if you don't use odorless mineral spirits or tons of layers or anything like that. If you want that texture, you can get it. So I like the look and I like to play with it once in a while. It definitely takes a ton more time. So then we're just going to add some Copics into the background before we jump into our pencils. I forgot that I did the background. How I forgot, I'm not sure, because I am staring at the card right now. But that's par for the course, you guys. That's par for the course for me. So I started off with this BG60, and then I blended out with my 0, and I decided that there just wasn't quite enough color back there. So then I go back through and add some with a blue color. I think I use B quadruple zeros. Oh yeah, here we go. The cat found something to play with. Probably a pop bottle lid. And he's going to chase it around the house, and you guys can hear that, I'm certain. So, I'm sorry. Please ignore my crazy cat, who decides to play at 4:30 in the morning. What are you doing? Okay, so here we go on the colored pencil. I am going to zoom it in just a little bit so you guys can see a little bit better. I'm starting off with my black, and I'm just adding in all of those or I'm just following where all of those shadows will be just to reinforce them a little bit. I'm not pressing really hard. I want that texture of the colored pencil when you run it lightly over the paper to come through. That's the exact look I'm going for. I want it to look slightly fuzzy and slightly blown out so that they look like they're fuzzy little birdies, right? That's what I'm after here. So So then I'm going to go in with that blue. I didn't read what it was called, so I think it's Prussian blue, but I'm not 100% sure. And then our next one is Cobalt Turquoise. I know that these are going by fast. I didn't realize I was going to have to pause it or play it quite as long, so I didn't hold the pencil up there. If you need the color, you can definitely pause it. But all I did was pick 2 colors, a darker and a lighter, that are similar in tone to the Copics that I used in order to achieve the fuzzy blown out look, but the colors to look right. So, and I always start with my black and then I go into my colors. Even on the peaches and the yellows, I start with the black and then go into the colors. Just to give it that shadow, I am going to drop down that string from the balloon. I create one little wrap around his wing this time, but when I go in at the end and add in all of their little feet, I put one more little loop over his wing so that it looks as though the balloon has wrapped around his hand twice. Why, I'm not sure. I wanted to. So we do that permanent olive green and then this May green on top here for a nice bright. And that's our balloons. This process is really fast. It's just that it is another layer of everything on top of your stamps. So it depends if you want to do it or not. Like I said, it's really not completely necessary. I just personally love the look, so I like to do it. And I don't do it all the time. I don't do no lines all the time. I don't color with Copics all the time. But once in a while I get a hankering and I'm like, ooh, I need to do that. So I figured this time I would film the entire process for you guys. And I know we are 16 minutes in, and those of you that are still here with me, oh my goodness, thank you so much. I cannot believe you're still listening to me babble and watching me color these, 5 birds and 4 cupcakes on a page. Props to you. And I mean that genuinely. Like, I really appreciate everybody who watches the entire length of my video. If you do make it this far or to the end, let me know down below, because I'm interested to see how many people actually watch through the whole video. I can get a rough idea through checking my channel analytics, but it'd be kind of interesting to see who actually spends the time to sit and watch all this, because these are not short videos when I do things like this. You're talking 20 minutes, that's half an hour, that's like people's lunch breaks at work, so now we're going to go through and do our cupcakes, and like I said, it's always the exact same process. It's just switching the colors so that I pick something that's similar to what I used already in Copics. But I do find that it adds a lot to the final look of the card. And I really like that storybook more slightly. I don't know why it feels more realistic, because it's not. I mean, the birds are blowing out candles and having a birthday party with party hats and cupcakes. Not realistic at all, but it seems to work. So I'm happy with it. So we're going to go back into the black here. Ignore my big band-aid. I did kind of avoid talking about that. I ripped my finger open at work today. It's not real bad or anything, but it hurts. I still have a band-aid on it today, and this was filmed 3 days ago, so. Or yesterday. No, 3 days ago. Yeah. It happened on Tuesday. It's Thursday. So. Going through all of the purple and adding our black, and then we'll finish that out. I add a little bit to the bottom and to around our images as well. When I start on something like this, it's like go all the way or go home. You can't really, I don't like to do part of it and not the rest. It just doesn't feel right to me. So, I don't know what else to talk about, you guys. I've been babbling on for 19 minutes. Go me. My coffee pot is done, and I really want to grab a cup of coffee, but I'll do that once we're finished here. So now we're going to finish up our little peach guys, because they're absolutely adorable as well. Oh. So I've been having I can't talk, you guys. This is so bad. I've been having tons of fun with our Saturday videos, like Stamp Sash Saturday with Carissa. And then doing my watercolor Wednesday, even though I skipped it this week. And all of the extra stuff and all in here and all that. Like doing the new release videos for some of the design teams I'm on. Doing just videos when I'm coloring and actually filming lots of what I'm working on for you guys. So I hope you guys are enjoying seeing all of this. I have tons of stuff coming. I've been coloring new releases up for different companies for next month, and I've been doing lots of filming on those, so hoping you guys will enjoy seeing that stuff and having that kind of content up right away, so that there's videos of the coloring as soon as you guys purchase and receive the stamps, kind of a deal. If there's anything or any techniques and stuff that you want to see me do, definitely leave me a comment down below, and I will try and do them. So this is where I show you. I'm going to do the black, and I just show you the 1 foot, and then I'm just going to go through and do all of the feet, so they're all in there now. Then we're going to shade the background, because I hold it up so close to my face, because once I get this much coloring done, it's really, really hard to see the stamped lines. So yeah, we'll just get these backgrounds in and this floor done. Super fun stuff. Real exciting content. I really hope you guys are enjoying all of these coloring videos, though. I know I could speed them up and just show you bits and pieces and all of that fun stuff, but some people like to sit and watch it and some people don't. I mean, there's definitely that gear you can speed up and slow down parts on your computer and stuff to see a little more detail of what I'm doing. If you're interested in watching any longer version of me, I'm sure if you listen to me in slow motion, I would sound really weird. I sound really weird at normal speeds, so, you know, beggars can't be choosers, I guess. No, I'm kidding. I'm sorry. Oh, that was rude. I take it back. I apologize. But oh, excuse me. So we're just adding a gray and then this light phthalo blue, and then we'll go over it with a lighter gray, and that'll finish up the background. Oh my goodness. I forgot to film me stamping the yay, 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 it's your birthday, but I am going to take my black pencil and just go over the yay, yay, yay. Yay, yay, yay. How many times can I say that in 30 seconds, y'all? Just to blow it out a little bit and give it a little more fuzzy look to match kind of the rest of our little birds here down at the bottom. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed making this video. I really like doing lots of coloring, and lots of coloring takes time, and I can only speed it up so fast for you guys to see anything that I am doing. So I hope you settled in for your 22 minutes for me, and if you did, thank you so much. If you aren't subscribed, I'd love for you to subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, so I know to make more. If you have any questions or anything for me, leave a comment in the description box below. A link to the stamp set, my personal blog, my Cards in Color Facebook page, all of that stuff will be in the bottom. And I will see you guys next time. Bye for now.